We have a lot to do. Who is doing it? Me, Danny Thompson, on Countdown to Restoration, where we're counting down the horrible, utterly depressing, and void of all sanity days of the Biden regime. That's right. Joseph Biden, who is what? We'll do it early. I know you wait for it. Who is the thief in chief? Yeah. The thief in chief. Some of your favorite parts of the show, I know. Today, we have a lot as usual. So let's just get into it. Some good news. Where is it? Yes. President Trump receives yet another Nobel Peace Prize nomination, which doesn't mean he'll win it because, he's up against stiff competition. That peace-loving group, Black Lives Matter, is the current favorite. Yeah, they're going to win it, get more money, more recognition, because everybody knows you spell peace, BLM. That's right. So, and also some breaking news. President Trump was subpoenaed to testify under oath at his impeachment trial, but his legal team, I'm sure, is going to refuse that. The Biden team refused to extend parental leave benefits to Trump appointees expecting children during the transition period. Their whole problem was during the transition period, they weren't transgendering. If they had been transgender, they would have got that parental leave. But no, can't get it cut off. Because why? Their first name was Trump. Well, they were Trump appointees. So anyway, sorry, just moved my whole camera system over. Looked like an earthquake. What else do we have? Quickly today from, a journalist I always have really liked ever since the O.J. Simpson trials, before she was a journalist, Greta Van Susteren. Don't worry, in quotations, don't worry. Everything will calm down after the election, after electoral college, after the certification, after the inauguration, after impeachment trial. End of quote. And then she says, I give up. It is not happening. The calm is out of reach. And you ain't seen nothing yet, because what is coming is going to make this look like a picnic. Anyway, but it'll end up good. Trust me, it will end up good, because good is coming back. Remember this, maybe Friday, depending on breaking news, we will go over seculardems.org Manifesto for the Country, Secular Democrats of America, Restoring Constitutional Secularism and Patriotic Pluralism in the White House. That is just garbage, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, I'm in kind of a blunt mood today, so it may be blunt. Just letting you know. And here we have our friend, Dr. Rachel Levine. But stay tuned, because we have another photograph of another prominent player in the regime, which we will be showing on occasion because I like it. But anyway, Dr. Rachel Levine. And today at the State Department, our thief in chief, that protector of all rights except for the unborn and the Christian and many others, it is issuing a memorandum on protecting lesbian, gay, bi, LBGTQ plus rights around the world, which we will get into more tomorrow. But, Dr. Rachel Levine is proud. Now, speaking of transgender issues, here it is from the ACLU. I told this to my son yesterday. I don't think he bought it, but myth. This is a myth. Sex is binary, apparent at birth, and identifiable through singular biological characteristics. Yeah, you thought what you were born with was what you were, but you were wrong. There is no one way for our bodies to be. women, including women who are transgender, who are men, intersex, or disabled. Disabled? What? Disabled? Women who are disabled? Have a range of different physical characteristics. Well, yeah, because the men pretending to be women have wide-ranging differences of physical characteristics. Biological sex and gender are not binaries. There are no set hormone ranges, body parts, or chromosomes that all people of a particular sex or gender have. I know, let's just all go outside, scream, bang our heads against a wall, jump up and down, throw a tantrum, because how stupid are these people? See, all this is a myth. You were not born a male or female because of the way you came out. That's a myth. You might be a woman who thought they're a man all this time. Or a man who thinks they're a woman. I don't know. Because just body parts and chromosomes and hormones don't know what they're talking about. It's a myth. Just because your body looks a certain way. We found that out in the 60s when boys were growing long hair. Didn't make them a girl. Whole nother issue. Just thought I'd throw that in for my grandfather. He's been dead a while, but he never liked the hippie look on boys. Anyway, of course, John Wesley had real long hair. Definitely wasn't a hippie. But anyway, we'll move on. I'll get caught up on things that don't matter. You know, it's a myth. Speaking of myths, we're going to go into this in depth in just a moment, or as in depth as we get here. Senator Rand Paul to Biden Education Department Secretary pick Miguel Cardona after he says he supports biological men in female sports. Who are these people that think it's okay? From what planet are you from? Oh, you gotta love Senator Paul or hate him. I don't think there's any in-betweens on him, is there? All right, let's look at this man. Education pick Miguel Cardona's message to lawmakers: in la union está la fortaleza. And I'm not sure, I'm out of Spanish too long to remember how to pronounce all that. I think it means in unity there is strength. But we have an education director who gives out mottos in Spanish in a basically English-speaking country. So already I'm feeling confident, aren't you? Yes. Yes, but and not because he's a Hispanic. I don't care if where he's from. Just speak English. But what else? This was where Senator Paul nailed him down, I hope. Senator Paul's question: do you think it's fair to have boys running in the girls' track meet? He asked again. He had been asking, trying to pin the man down. I think it's appropriate. I think it's the legal responsibility for schools to provide opportunities for students to participate in activities, and this includes students who are transgender, Cardona responded. All right, let's move it up. So you don't have a problem then of boys running in the girls' track meets, swim meets, you name it. You're okay then with boys competing with girls. Respectfully, Senator, talking like Joe Biden now. Respectfully, Senator, I believe I answered the question, Cardona said, reiterating his position that schools should offer activities for all students. So, yes. So, what planet are these people from? Planet transgender. If men are from Mars and women are from Venus, they must be from Marvenus or Venus or Var. I don't know, but some weird combination planet. A thought comes to me of one planet and how to say it, but I won't. I'm going to keep this at least at some high level of something here. All right, we've already been there. Let's not go back. And here it is, the picture of the other Biden regime important person, John Kerry. Yes. I know he looks like a statue on Easter Island, but it's not my fault. That's his picture. All right. I think they were having a beach day that day. I'm not sure. But anyway, before he boarded his private plane, we will be keeping the picture of John Kerry around. I like it. Anyway, we have some serious news. Iranian resistance leader says regime is... See, they call the Iranian regime a regime. Why not call the Biden regime a regime? Iranian resistance leader says regime at its weakest point urges Biden to hold it to account. Well, that ain't happening. You know that's not happening. Let's see. The leader. Wouldn't it be nice to have a leader? I tell you who the leader in this country is going to be. It's going to be the State Department again, just like it was. The leader of the main Iranian resistance group tells Fox News that the regime in Tehran is at its weakest point in history and is calling on the Biden administration to hold the regime accountable for its human rights violations. And let's see, do we have all of it? The Iranian regime is at its weakest point in the history of the last 42 years. It is economically bankrupt. Thank you, President Trump, who's still the lawful president. National Council of Resistance of Iran President-elect Mariam Rajav told Fox News in response to written questions, the national currency is in a free fall and corruption has penetrated every aspect of the regime. Wow, that's happening here, and our regime's only been in for 2 weeks. But we're not. We had them. See, we had them. This is one of the reasons that they stole the election, is to keep Iran strong, because they need Iran to destabilize the Middle East. And we're doing so much to help them, and more of that tomorrow. I listened to the Thief in Chief's very slow. I mean, I've been talking slow this week. This guy is beating me, which is bad. Very slow speech. Remarks is what it is. It's not really a speech, but anyway. And things he's doing to help Iran. And, tell you, it just makes you sad. Makes me sad. All right, market alert. Remember February 20th. And be careful out there. But in the meantime, we have good news. U.S. weekly jobless claims jump up more than forecast, or fall more than forecast to 779,000, which is still way too many as Biden stimulus efforts persist. You know, we got to keep doing it. Doesn't matter if everything's getting better or not. We must spend that money that is not going to do a thing that they say. CBO says economy recovering faster than expected, will reach pre-pandemic growth by mid-year. We looked at that earlier. Even though Jill Psaki, I think is how you say it, but Jen, not Jill. I want to call her Jill. I don't know. But Jen keeps saying no. Their report says we will not reach full levels until 2025. That's not true what their report says. She's just taking one aspect of it. But anyway, what else do we have here concerning finances? Oh, yes, U.S. stocks gain. Hey, where'd I go? U.S. stocks gain as jobless claims fall for the third straight week. Yes, everything's going good. Don't mess it up, government. No, don't mess it up and ruin our economy with all this irresponsible spending. Oh, yeah, that's what Democrats do. And not just to pick on them. We did plenty of that under the rightful president because Republicans just threw off all restraint. But anyway. All right. And what does president want to be? No, he doesn't ever want to be president. Senator Schumer, he wants pretend President Biden to bypass Congress, and top Democrats are urging Biden to cancel student debt by executive order. And but in the press conference today, Jen Psaki said that Biden has already, stopped payments through September and stopped interest through September, and he'll sign any legislation they give him. What happened? He was going to do that. Remember, he's just going to come in and cancel up to $50,000 or something like that of everyone's student debt. Who pulled the plug on that? Because now he's not interested in doing it unless Congress actually passes a law. Yeah. That's where we'll have to get into that a little more, won't we? Who is this? Who is this? What is this? McConnell, looking very dashing there in his light blue mask. McConnell to force Democrats to vote on paying illegal immigrants, funding schools that refuse to open as all part of the American Rescue Plan. Sounds patriotic, doesn't it? What else do we have? What else do we have? Oh, this is really... They are taking over the Defense Department quickly. Defense Secretary removes hundreds of advisory board members in sweeping review, getting rid of all the Trump people as fast as they can. Trump had been working on getting rid of the Obama people, but now we've got to get rid of all the Trump people because they don't want a military, ladies and gentlemen. They don't want that. In fact, there's a lot of things coming out about their plans for the military, so let's just continue on. This is from the Defense Secretary of Defense, I should say. Today I met with senior leaders to discuss extremism in the military. Oh, not communism, not, Antifa leanings or BLM. No, people who might support Trump. To discuss extremism in the military as a first step, I'm ordering a stand down to occur over the next 60 days so each service, each command, and each unit can have a deeper conversation about the issue. It comes down to leadership, everyone's. So a 60-day stand down means basically everything stops unless it's of the utmost importance, and we're going to talk to people about how to be a good liberal. And if you're not a good liberal, you won't get promoted. If we find out anything where you're touching on conservative issues or supporting the true president, or maybe your great-great-grandfather fought in the Civil War, you're probably out of here if he fought on the side of the South, because we can't have that. No, that's extremist. We can have communists. We can have Iranian sympathizers. We can have PLO sympathizers. We can have Al-Qaeda sympathizers. We can have ISIS sympathizers. But we can't have you people that actually support right over wrong. No. We've got to root you out of the military. Yeah. Don't you feel safer already? And you had to know this was going to happen. We've been trying to get out of Afghanistan since we got in. My wife, when President Bush went into Iraq right after going into Afghanistan, had a dream of him not being able to get out of any of this. And it's plaguing us today. Afghan study group urges delayed U.S. troop pullout in Afghanistan. No, we're never going to leave there. We are not going to leave there. We must stay there and keep risking lives and everything else because of why? Because it feeds the military supply, the industrial complex, as they say. I don't know. I'm not sure. I know something's wrong somewhere. I get some inside information, but not on that. All right, let's keep going. Breaking report, Maricopa County down in Arizona, the Phoenix area. Board refuses to turn over election equipment for Arizona Senate audit. Why would they do that? Unless there's a reason to refuse. Well, the legislature is fighting back. Arizona Senate poised to declare Maricopa County Board of Supervisors in contempt over election subpoena triggering possible arrests. Yes. So, see, things are still happening. And it's going to come out, ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot of stuff going to come out. So just hang on, hang on. All right, this through Chuck Woolery. Remember him from the Love Connection and other game shows. CDC releases Super Bowl guidelines. No chanting or cheering. Limit alcohol. Wear mask at all times. No cheering. We're hoping for a boring game. No chanting. They can chant to help President Biden, but they can't chant for their favorite team. You know, like, go, 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 go. You know, they could take the fun out of anything, couldn't they? And I'm sure everybody is going to adhere to these rules. There will be no yelling during the Super Bowl. No cheering. Oh boy, look for that COVID spike coming to a hospital near you. Anyway, what else do we have? Oh, it's fun today, isn't it? This from El Kabong. Remember, if you ever watch Quick Draw McGraw, he had a side character who was El Kabong. Yep. Jen Psaki is weeks away from bursting into tears, throwing her paperwork in the air and screaming that she doesn't want to talk about it anymore. She's got so many lines memorized. If I had the time and really had some staff to help me, I would put together all the pat answers she has down. It is between the American Rescue Plan and talking about China. We are moving from a position of strength. You know, in other words, we're not doing anything. I mean, she can just repeat it verbatim. If I was in the press corps, I would say, I want to ask a question about China, not because I care about the answer. I want to hear, not because I care. I just want to hear you say that again. Yeah, I just raise my hand. China, just so you could hear the thing. Although they did ask a China question today, which I'll probably play tomorrow. And, well, I might play it today as a precursor to tomorrow. But anyway, she didn't give that answer. I was so disappointed. It's just like, why wouldn't you? All right, so we have that. This is our old friend Jen from back in the campaign. And they were asking what's going on with Biden. This is after he gave that bizarre interview with Anderson Cooper where he talked about gay bathhouses in San Francisco. I was going to play that part, but anyway, this is Jen on CNN the next day.
Yeah, look, there have been a number of moments where even those of us who have affection for Vice President Biden think, what on earth is happening right now?
Do you think she has changed her thought on that? We'll keep that clip around. What on earth is happening now? What is he saying? All right, Jen, this first one. Oh, I told you that someone that has been behind the scenes was getting upset and they invested a lot and they were wanting their due and they are starting to voice and emerge, and this is not a nice little exchange here.
One more question on this point. Michael Bloomberg said yesterday that it's time for President Biden to stand up and say that the kids are the most important thing and stand up to the teachers' unions. If it comes down to a binary choice, and there's no indication that, the teachers' union in Chicago or San Francisco are willing to budge at this point, if it comes down to a binary choice, who would the president choose, the kids or the teachers?
I think that's a little bit unfair how you pose that question, but I will say the president believes schools should be open. Teachers want schools to be open. Families want schools to be open, but we want to do it safely. And I'm not sure that any parent in this country would disagree with wanting their kids to go to school in a safe environment where there's ventilation, where proper precautions are taken, whether it's masks or social distancing, and that's his priority. But there should be no confusion. The President of the United States wants schools to open. He wants them to stay open, and that is key too. He doesn't want them to be open for a month. That's disruptive for teachers, for students, for families. So he wants the proper steps to be taken so that they can reopen and stay
open. And then she quickly, sorry, I didn't realize I cut that off so quick, to stay open. Then she quickly moved on to the next questioner. You notice she never said the word union? She answered everything about the question except the question. I told you, somebody who had invested heavily is going to start making his presence known because he wants to be involved. And, the thing is, when you own news outlets, if they won't listen to you on the inside, you can talk anytime you want from the outside. So, yeah, who are you going to stand up for, Joe? The kids or the unions? Well, of course he's going to stand up for the unions. I mean, she just opened safely. Everybody wants the schools to open safely. What a dodge. Huh? If I was the reporter borrowed that from Rush Limbaugh. If I was the reporter, I would raise my hand. I would demand another question. I didn't ask about opening the school safely. You cover that every day. I want to know, who's he going to pick, kids or the union? That's not an unfair question. How else was she supposed to say that? But I'm telling you, they're all going to be talking. That was probably one of the main topics of conversation. Bloomberg. Better start expecting it. Because remember, he wanted to be president. What do we have next here with our friend Jen? This one. Oh, yes. I also told you. Wait a minute. I didn't want to get big. I also told you that someone else would be emerging. Those of you who doubt my very well-placed insiders. Someone else is going to be emerging. Here he is.
If I can, Hunter Biden has a memoir to be published in April. I guess my question is that book subject to the clearance process, to a clearance review?
For those of you who had not seen the news, it was announced, I believe, by Simon & Schuster this morning. I do have a statement from Joe and Jill Biden in their personal capacity as his parents. We admire our son Hunter's strength and courage to talk openly about his addiction so that others might see themselves in his journey and find hope. This is a personal book about his own personal journey, and I will leave it at that.
Yes, of course you will. Not answer about the clearance question or anything else. His own personal journey, and Joe and Jill answered in their personal capacity as his parents. Who talks like that? Why can't she just say, the president, the pretend president and the pretend first lady answered that, put out a press statement. Yay, our son's going to make some more money. Yay. But Hunter's back. Mike Bloomberg, his hundreds of millions, he wants payback. It's going to get fun. Yes, it is, because Bloomberg can get under the skin of a lot of people. And he's got enough money, he doesn't care what anybody thinks. I think this might be the China one. Let's see.
American Airlines and United Airlines are planning to furlough about 27,000 employees by the end of next month as their federal payroll aid runs out. Does President Biden support giving those airlines more financial aid, and does he support including that in this coronavirus relief package?
I think the president's priorities are already in the package, and they are focused on ensuring there's funding to get vaccines in the arms of Americans, funding to reopen schools, ensuring that the 1 in 7 Americans families who can't put food on the table is worried about that, is able to do that. As you know, there's a process that will be ongoing on Capitol Hill over the course of the next days and through the course of next week, where there will be amendments put forward to work on committees. But I think the priorities of the president are already in the bill.
And just a foreign policy question.
Anyway, the answer, sir, is no. He's not going to do anything to help the airlines. And she gives her pat answer on the American Rescue Plan. Anyway, put vaccinations in the arms. Oh, I don't have the slide. I'll show it tomorrow maybe. Israel, who has gone crazy on vaccinating. I mean, they've got a large segment of their population vaccinated, are having a real big spike in COVID cases. Yeah, this is not good, ladies and gentlemen. All right, what do we have left here? We have China. I hope. If not, I don't know what happened to China. Must have disappeared.
And stay open. Go ahead.
One quick one on China. A State Department spokesman said on Wednesday that the United States was deeply disturbed by reports of systematic rape and sexual abuse against women in internment camps for ethnic Uyghurs and other Muslims in China's Xinjiang region, and that there must be serious consequences for atrocities committed there. And I wondered if you could say anything about what serious consequences are currently under consideration.
I don't think I can get ahead of the president or, frankly, the Secretary of State. We certainly, of course, agree with that, those comments and statements from the State Department, but I don't have anything to preview for you in terms of specific actions. Go ahead.
Has the president used the defense?
On quickly. So, yes, we're not going to talk about anything about China, except usually she says we're going to answer from a position of strength. But we'll have more to say about China tomorrow because the thief in chief brings it up in his State Department remarks. All right, what else? Where are we? Oh, yes, White House briefing room, things about pretend President Joseph R. Biden Jr. approves Maryland disaster. Later, he approved Washington, D.C.'s disaster. And he talks with this guy, that guy. Still hasn't talked to the president of China or the prime minister of Israel. Yeah, but he loves throwing around that he talked to Putin and he was tough to him, which we'll find out tomorrow. And Putin's still doing whatever the heck he wants, which we'll see tomorrow. All right, so that's him. And he was going to the State Department. And at the State Department, he was supposed to be there at 12:45 our time, my time, Central Standard Time, to issue his remarks and meet with them and everything. He didn't get on till 2:45, which made me think, oh, Uncle Joe's a moving mighty slow, which made me think of this, part of our new segment on the pretend president. Maybe you'll remember it. If you're young, it's the first time you've probably heard it.
Come ride the little train that is rolling down the tracks to the junction. Forget about your cares, it is time to relax at the junction. Lots of curves, you bet, and even more when you get to the junction.
Petticoat Junction.
There's a little hotel called the Shady Rest at the junction.
Petticoat Junction.
It is run by Kate. Come and be her guest at the junction.
Petticoat Junction.
And that's Uncle Joe. He's a moving kind of slow at the junction. Petticoat Junction.
Yes, Uncle Joe is a moving kind of slow at the junction. And I thought it was funny when the girls, pop up out of the water tower. The first one's redheaded, Jen. And then you got, that could be Jill. See, if I was better at computers, I could put Jill's face on Kate, Joe's face on Joe, Jen's face on Betty Joe, Billy Joe, Bobby Joe, whichever Joe that is coming out of the water tower with the red hair. Be a lot of fun. We could have fun. Maybe, somebody can teach me how to do that, and then but anyway, because it was taking forever. And then when he was talking, he was going, the guy's not doing well today. I told you they were going to have to slow down, and it's been slow. But he had to get up this morning and deliver remarks for a prayer breakfast. Is videotaped, and they edited that. Just a 4-minute and something remark. Anyway, all Joe Biden Day tomorrow, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Is that all we have on this? What else? Oh, no, we've got a couple of things. Let me mention them. Biden puts BDS activists in charge of National Security Council. Yes, this guy is a raging anti-Semite. They are just going after Israel, which works for some of our inside information later. Mahar Bitar of Divest from Israel Apartheid has been picked by Joe Biden as the senior director on the NSC. And because of time, we won't get into a lot of things on him today, but he is not very good. And then this on our friend, I can't say his name, Biden's new Assistant Secretary of State worked for Islamic terror state that funds Hamas. Yeah, basically worked for the government of Qatar. I cannot say the man's name. Let's see, is it here? Hadi Amr, A-M-R. I don't know. He was inspired by the Palestinian Intifada. Oh, yes, threats against Israel and everything. And he's the Assistant Secretary of State concerning that region. We went over some yesterday. Oh, there's so much information on both of these two men. And it doesn't matter if you care about Israel or not. Why? Anyway, more on that maybe tomorrow. Just depends. Maybe not. Okay, some exclusive God formation. Our insider's view of what's happening at the happy place we call the White House. And yeah, instead of the Shady Rest Hotel, we could show the White House. There's a little White House. There's a little old house called the White House at the junction. I don't know. We could do something, couldn't we? Yeah. I've thought about that for a long time. Uncle Joe moving kind of slow when it comes to Biden. I just, back in the campaign, but never did it. All right. Not a lot of information today, but some important. Speaking of Israel, we have some Israel information. Let's see if I can find it. Yes. Biden fell again, and you're not going to know about it, but he's having some problems. He fell again. And he is so discouraged because this is not what he thought it was going to be. He's learning you don't make deals with the devil. He's becoming angry, and he wants to go out on the road. He wants to do like they did with Obama, take a bus tour, go around. He wants to do a rally. He wants to get out and do a big rally like Trump and pack the stadium. They're like having to keep him on a chain. The guy's going to be sneaking out of the White House with a bullhorn and show up in an empty stadium somewhere. Come on, man. No, really, he's having a hard time. Of course, the more he gets out and talks, the better. They won't let him talk. They keep telling him, no, you stick to the teleprompter. Old Uncle Joe may be moving slow, but he's not going to keep doing what they say for very long. Israel is looking into some things. They are desperate to show that Biden should not be in the White House because he is hurting them. He is ignoring them, and they sense trouble. Just of average intelligence, you could do that, right? They're looking everywhere. They are frantic. And remember, there is nothing on computers that the government of Israel cannot find. They are looking, ladies and gentlemen, and they're going to find some stuff because they do not want to have war with Iran. And they know Iran is about to be strengthened. They know the PLO is going to be strengthened. They know Hamas is going to be strengthened. I mean, it doesn't take much. You know, come on. Come on, man. I got to get a clip of him saying that. Let's see, what else? Can't say that yet. Just expect a lot this month. There's just so many that are afraid. So many. And Dr. Jill Biden, PhD, having some health issues. And it's going to come out, they're going to say it's COVID. It's not COVID. Don't expect that tomorrow on the news. But oh, and they are realizing they keep quoting the polls for the American Rescue Plan. I may stop doing that. It's getting on my nerves. But their polling is showing the country's at an impasse. We do not appreciate the mechanisms put into place. And we don't like his policies, but they just keep coming up with lies. But they can't keep it covered up for long. They know it's very unpopular. They put on a good front. They put on a good face. But the truth is going to set us all free. So anyway, that's today's show. God bless America. Pray for the country. And tune in tomorrow. Far as I know right now, we're probably going to do some coverage on the thief in chief in particular. But who knows what's going to happen? Who knows? But anyway, get your kids out of public school if you can. Go to your public school. Go to your state legislators and tell them protect our students. We don't want boys in the girls' bathroom or boys in girls' sports, and we don't want girls in the boys' bathroom, etc. Although the problem is mainly with boys who are being taught that they're girls, and tell them we don't want our kids taught that sex based on your body and biology and hormones and chromosomes is a myth. We don't want that. And go to church and pray. Pray this Sunday. Pray before then. God, help this nation. Expose these people. Show everybody how wrong they are and the lies and what's going on behind the scenes. And strengthen those that are trying to do right. God bless you. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. We've had some trouble on Rumble getting our episodes up on time. Hopefully today it'll be okay. But we do post on Facebook, Telegram, Clout Hub, YouTube, and Twitter. And yesterday we posted the YouTube upload. So, but we like Rumble, so hopefully it gets straightened out. Tell some friends, watch it. Let me know what you think. God bless you. Have a great day as we prepare to move out of this Thursday edition.